Hello everyone, welcome to a video about a great solo played by Dutch guitar player Martijn van Iterson on the tune For Minors Only. If you're not familiar with Martijn van Iterson, in my opinion he's the best Dutch jazz guitar player and just a great jazz guitar player in general, not only by Dutch standards. And I have been transcribing him for quite some time, and I thought it was time to spend some time with a solo of his. And I'm gonna do 4 videos about this solo he played on For Minors Only. 2 videos right here on YouTube, and 2 videos for my Patreon, but I will tell you more about that later. Let's get started with the first phrase. 3, 4, 1, 2. One, two. This phrase starts with 2 bars outlining a C minor major 7. There's this G augmented triad in it. And of course this B here. So you hear this sound. This is C minor major 7. And then there's this great lick or phrase that suggests C7 altered. Because there is this G flat major triad inside of this lick. There it is. So if you do that, if you play G flat major on top of C7, you get the flat 9, the D flat, and you get the flat 5, which is an F sharp. So you get that sound. And it resolves very nicely, of course, to the 5th of F. So I would say you can play this whenever you have C minor, C7 to F minor, or so like the 1 minor chord, and then it's going to the 4 minor chord, like in a minor blues. Or you could take this final part and just learn it as a lick for C7 altered, going to F minor, or even to F major, because it resolves to the 5th, so it doesn't really matter if it's major or minor. And if I avoid an A or an A flat in the continuation, then you can even make the lick longer and still play it to F minor and F major. For instance, you could do 1, 2, 3. That phrase fits both over minor and over major. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. This is just a F minor melodic scale, so there's both the 6 and the major 7, the D and the E, and then going down with the F minor triad. Nothing special, but I like the phrase. It combines the standard scale with a standard arpeggio, going both directions. But I could see it being very useful as a continuation phrase after something like this. 3, 4, 1. Right, that's C7 to F minor, so very useful. And sometimes it's a good idea to learn these small phrases, but because they're so easy to use within different contexts or as an ending to different licks. Let's go to phrase number 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we arrive to the point of the tune where the progression can get a little bit tricky. It's D minor 7 2 beats, G7 2 beats, then the same thing half step up, so E flat minor 7, A flat 7, and now a regular 2-5-1. You could say to C major because it's D minor 7, G7, but it resolves to C minor. So what do you play on something like that? And I like this idea of Martijn playing It's almost like it's just a phrase, a normal 2-5-1 phrase, where you just shift the second bar half step up. For instance, if I wouldn't shift the second bar half step up, you would get something like this. Now it's just a phrase for D minor 7, G7. So if you take that idea and you just shift the second bar half step up, you could do that with many licks. Let's take another very simple 2-5-1 phrase, maybe something like this, 3, 4. Now let's take the second bar, so that's the part from here. And let's shift that a half step up, so you would get... And now we keep the first bar like it was, and then we would get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to D minor. So that's a really cool idea. Make sure that the lick that you would do it with is a non-altered lick. So there shouldn't be any alterations for the G7 bar. So you could think of any D minor lick that would work, D minor 6 or D minor 7. You take that, it's just a D minor 6 arpeggio. So this is the second bar. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we have to shift this part, half step up. So then we would get 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we would continue with a normal 2-5-1 phrase, but now it's a good idea to actually alter the G7 because we're going to resolve to C minor. So the complete phrase would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Really simple but cool idea. Let's go to the final phrase for this video. 3, 4, 1, 2. One, two. This is the normal 2-5-1, the D minor, G7 to C minor. And then the chords go A flat 7, G7, C minor. But of course you don't have to play that A flat 7. You could play some A flat 7 line to G7. You could also just play G7 or just play C minor. That's what's happening here. So first we get this great 2-5-1 lick. Now resolution. This sounds like G7 or just going to the fifth of the one chord, but it sounds to me like G7. And now resolving to C minor. So I would practice this part as like a 2-5-1 lick to minor in every key. So let's say we want to play it from B7 to E minor. So then we would play it here. Of course, you could continue on, but then you would need to have a long E minor chord. For instance, in a minor blues, you could do that, right? When you have a blues in E minor. So we would get E minor, and E7 to A minor, back to E minor. And now we would get C7, B7. So right there we could play 3, 4, 1. And you could play the whole thing, because after that B7, that C7, B7, you would go to E minor and back to the top. But basically, you would have another 4 bars of E minor, so then you could play the whole thing. But just learning the first 3 bars is a really cool 2-5-1 lick to a minor tonic. That was it for this video. Of course, there is more to this solo. You saw me play a complete course in the beginning, and I'm going to talk about the second half of this course on my Patreon, exclusively for my patrons. If you join there at the €5 tier, you can download the tabs that you saw on screen today. And if you join at the €10 tier, you can see the second video, which I'm going to make later this week. You can also see many other videos that I made in the past. Now, the next video on YouTube will be about the second course that he played. It's also a great course. And again, I'm going to make 2 videos. One about the first half of that second course right here on YouTube, and then another one for my patrons. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.